Galanos, and in net, the sophomore Danny Marquez, 3-4 on the year with a 165 goals against and a 943 save percentage. The puck is down and we are underway. Two teams hungry for a victory after late game defeats yesterday here on this ice. The Valiants will be traveling left to right in their road blacks. The Polar Bears in their home whites, right to left. Manhattanville in control in their own end right now, but kept in the zone by Stoddard. Puts it on net, looking to track it is Pelowitz, who tries to get it to safety. Along the half wall now. Moved there by Lopes, one of the co-captains for the Valiants. And the leading scorer with 7 goals, 10 assists, 17 points coming into the contest today. Had a helper against Williams yesterday afternoon. D to D in their own end. Manhattanville looking to avoid the forecheck. Reinstierna was closest, but now back in their own end. The Polar Bears will try to break out. Here is a shot there from Angelina Joyce. But back at the point, sent right back over to Joyce. Check that, that's Taub. Taub in control, she'll reverse it right back. The shot put on by Cloutier, just wide with Joyce set up out in front for the redirect. Rimmed around the boards, Taub trying to play it away. And now Reinstierna will match up against Kettlewood. From the sharp angle up top, Cloutier, check that. Glass's opportunity goes wide to reset. Wheeling off the boards there. An opportunity from Joyce. Pinching on in. Leininger joining the rush. There is Meredith, though, to poke it away. And the Valiants will look to clear it out themselves. Adele Clark ties up right in front of the Polar Bear bench. Swatted in the other direction. And we'll get an icing here with 18:07 remaining in the first period. The Polar Bears are coached by Marissa O'Neill, her 10th season, class of 2005. Derek Whitmore, the assistant, in his second season. David Turco in his 9th year behind the bench for the Valiants. Jen McCaskill, the assistant. Back underway. Valiants pressured out of their own end. Chris LaRocca as well, part of the coaching staff for Manhattanville. 2-on-1 developing, though, on the pass and fanning on the shot there is Braden James. She'll recover, though, and get it right back up to the point. Now moved over to Nash. Nash, that will rim off the boards. James back to play. Here is Leininger. And now moved on in, deep into the zone, out of the net to play Lena Flores. She'll leave it there. Sandelis tries to clear it out, kept in by Cloutier. Cloutier centers, looking for Dougal there, just out of her reach. Cloutier now trying to win it free. With the Valiants crashing the party in the neutral zone now. On the stretch, over to James now. James into the spin cycle, will hold up, moves it down low. They try for the give and go, but there's Cloutier. Stick down, moves it along to Galanos. Galanos over the blue line, contested, puts it on, having a little bit of trouble with the rebound there is Flores. Moved along the boards, half wall now. Valiants trying to clear it out. Cloutier, though, kicks it away. Braden James sends it towards the neutral zone. Potiker, though, up ahead to Tala Glass. 3 points away from 40 in her career. Glass pulls up, reverses, tries to catch Joyce. She recovers, flicks it down low on the backhand. Now Zoe Wilson. She's pressured in the boards by Pelowitz, and the Valiants will come away with it. Joyce, though, forces the turnover. Neutral zone. Martignetti gets it right on back to Pelowitz to get the rush going, but Marquez with a glove extended into the air will get the icing. 16-10 remaining here in the first. Let's take a quick look at the tail of the tape while we have a moment. Again, non-conference matchup here. Bowdoin 2.5 goals per game, while Manhattanville's averaging 3.2, 4.2 in league play. Defensively, Bowdoin yielding 1.62 goals per game, tied for third best in the league, while Manhattanville is yielding 1.8 per game. Polar Bears were looking for the play right off the draw, but now Reinstierna will lose it there to the Valiants, but quickly won back by Kester. Now Pelowitz patiently shovels it up ahead, looking for Lopes. As nearly continuing that was Zoo, but the Polar Bears there to get on the puck. Flipped up ahead by Joyce. Reen Steerner will give chase, but getting there first will be Sabia. Now Martignetti. Polar Bears winning it back. Here is Nell Fusco. Tries to sneak that up over the goal line. Valiants, though, get control of the puck. Sent down low by Kester. Loose in the face-off dot. And sent on the backhand by Taylor Ham. Ham tries to clear that one, gets a piece of Peyton Mullern, and the Valiants will go off for the change. Mullern banks it off the boards, but right there is Anna Tittman. Trying to set up the breakout. Clark couldn't quite reel that in. There is Mulhern to play it. But given away right there. Pinching on in for Manhattanville. That's Howard. Slap shot up top. Marquez looking for the rebound and kept alive. Second save there made by Marquez on the flurry. Puck into the corner now. Bowdoin trying to clear it to safety. Marquez, especially in that third period, tested and stood tall in that one. Again, only yielding one goal, with the second goal last night coming on the empty net. Polar Bears, though, with an opportunity. Top sweeps across on the backhand, but the rebound grabbed there by Tittman, and they'll look to clear out. Polar Bears force the turnover once more. Looking for the one-timer. Cloutier trying to get with Galanos there, but off target. Polar Bears will reset again. Here comes Cloutier into the zone. She had a streaking Tala Glass who pinched in. Either way, here's Cloutier back up top. Moved on over on the diagonal, bounding out in front as Wilson got that all started up top. Here is Kettlewood up ahead now. This one put on just wide there off the stick of Sabia. Galanos. Her team will go for the change. She takes it deep. Sandilands. And now Lainey Nash moves that up ahead to Braden James. James able to connect with Sabia. Sabia pushed down into the boards by Potiker. They recover the puck, though. Centering feed, and that one got the blocker of Marquez, it looked like. Polar Bears, though, in transition. Izzy Stoddard, she's tripped, and we'll have a penalty here. But Angelina Joyce creeping closer and closer to the net, hoping she'd have an opportunity on that rebound. But for the first time today, the Polar Bears on the power play, and it will be Lainey Nash heading off for two on the trip there. Bowdoin comes into the weekend of games converting 17.2% on the power play. They were 0 for 3 last night. Manhattanville 88.1% on the kill. They were 5 of 5 last night against Williams. So here is Dougal. She'll swing that one up top to Glass. Moves that one on over, right back to Dougal. Dougal. Glass, wrister, loose in front, looking for the rebound. There was Leininger out in front. Kept in, though, by Glass. She'll send that into the far corner. Galanos there to play, has to deal with Martignetti. Now moved on over to Leininger. Leininger off the boards, has Dougal. Dougal tries to return it right back off the deflection. Chipped away, though, and nearly cleared out, but here is Glass. Moves it on over. Muller's shot, and she's denied by Flores on the glove save. Peyton Mullern, one of the harder shots on the team. If you saw our opening broadcast of the season, she had 2 in that one. And on the year, the first year, 2-2-4 line. It'll be Joyce out to take the face-off as she is flanked by Izzy and Brett Stoddard up front. Here is Fusco. As they try to return it back up to the charging Kester, but broken up. Here's Lopes. Can't move it around Fusco. Fusco now in transition. Minute left to go on the Bowdoin power play. Moves that one over, and just missing up high is Stoddard. Puck behind the net now. Polar Bears looking to win it free. Kester will keep it in the zone, sends it down low to Joyce. Right back up top. Has Stoddard. Tries to go to the slot. Broken up. Polar Bears keep it in. Slap shot. This one gets a piece of Izzy Stoddard. But now right up over the goal line. Stoddard will track. 32 seconds left to go in the power play. This one broken up on the poke though by Holly Meredith. Kept in though by Fusco. Nothing's getting by her on this shift right now. Here is, well, attempting to get that out was Joyce. Lopes broke it up. 16 seconds left to go in the power play. Fusco up ahead, has Izzy Stoddard. Tries to pull the deke, backhand move to Brett. Centering feed looking for Joyce, who is cutting across. That just off target there. That would have been a nifty one. Here comes Taylor Ham as Manhattanville kills this one off. Ham weaving through the D, knocked down, penalty coming against the Polar Bears on the check. So right after the kill, Manhattanville will now have a chance of their own on the power play, as it will be Zoe Wilson off for 2 on the check there. Shots unofficially 4-2 right now in favor of the Polar Bears, halfway through this one, scoreless, or this first period, I should say. Manhattanville came into the weekend of games converting 21.6% of their chances on the power play, 11-51. They were 1 of 5 yesterday against Williams. Bowdoin a perfect 4 of 4 on the penalty kill yesterday, including killing off a 5-minute major against Trinity. Off the boards, this one sent towards Marquez, but now here is Braden James. Sends it back up top to Pelowitz. And forcing the turnover there, Jess Cloutier. Cloutier looking for the shorty. She puts it on and tries to get her rebound, but getting there first was Pelowitz, or at least in her vicinity. Cleared away there, and Manhattanville will have to reset again. Polar Bears happy to have Cloutier back in the lineup. Of course, their forward depth bitten by the injury bug for most of the year this year, but we've seen a lot of defenders really step up in the forward role. Galanos, who we mentioned last night, being one of them. Minute 4 left to go on the Manhattanville power play. This one put on, saved by Marquez, in close from the sharp angle. Ham tries to keep it in. Ham leads the team with 3 power play goals, and an offsides ruled here. And it looks like Manhattanville will not be afforded the opportunity to switch out the lines quite yet. We'll get the draw with 53 seconds left to go on the power play. Polar Bears win it. And they will clear it away as their kill continues to be effective here in the first 2 games of 2020. Early on in this one here against Manhattanville. Trying to break things up here is Izzy Stoddard. Leininger looks to clear it away, but gets the piece. I think that was Ham trying to get back onto the bench. Puck out of play with 9:12 remaining here in the period. Manhattanville in their last 5, 3-2, 2-0 in the UCHC. Again, falling to Williams last night. Bowdoin is 2-2-1 in their last 5 all non-conference matchups. Looking to break a 2-game losing streak. Shot blocked there by Leininger's stick is up top. That was Lopes looking for the power play goal. Meredith. She'll put it on, and that one finds the back of the net. Manhattanville scores first power play goal, 1-0. And it looks like it will, in fact, go to Holly Meredith. That was Allie Howard out in front. But Meredith, with the initial look from up top, she's able to beat Marquez. And it's a power play goal, her second of the year, and her second goal overall on the year for the sophomore from Saratoga Springs. So 1-0 Manhattanville for Meredith's goal. The Valiants will quickly get control of the face-up. They brought in their own end, looking to reset, and now face the forecheck of the Polar Bears, which, for those of you who have been watching it, can get quite, they can crank it up on the forecheck. as they've done right here. Centering feed looking for Mulhern, broken up. In the corner now, Lopes. Stick down by Mulhern. Polar Bears giving Manhattanville fits early on in the neutral zone here in 5-on-5 play. This one dumped in. Polar Bears will go off for the change. Polar Bears, though, win it back. Here's Galanos off the boards. Puts that one close, but Manhattanville able to grab the puck. Angelina Joyce, who leads the Polar Bears in goals with 4, assists with 5, and points with 9, was out in front looking for the rebound. Here comes Glass. She'll put this one on, but the first year in Flores with another save. Her 7th unofficially of the evening. The all-time series, again, if you missed it in the pregame, Manhattanville leads Bowdoin 7-3-1. Manhattanville won last year's matchup 4-0 back on November 24th. Bowdoin's last win was a 4-1 effort back nearly 5 years ago from the day on the 4th of January 2014 here at Watson Arena. Manhattanville. That was sent all the way down into Bowdoin territory there by Clark. Polar Bears, though, able to grab control. Tala Glass looking to break it out, having to outwork the forecheck here, though. Taub sends a saucer banking off the boards. Pelowitz there. Look to get into the control breakout here. Adele Clark up ahead to Lopes. Lopes trying to catch up to it, but there's Reen Stierna after the effort by Wilson to poke it free. Dumped back in as the Valiants go for a change. Here is Dougal. Tries to get Taub, but cut off in the neutral zone by Meredith. Battle in front of the Polar Bear bench. Leininger looks to take advantage, but Allie Howard. Now Braden James turns, tries to dump that in, gets a piece of Dougal. She'll rifle it off the boards. Brett Stoddard over the blue line. Stoddard tries to center to Izzy, loose in front, and covering it up as Flores. As Stoddard came together with Howard. As again, the play intended for Izzy Stoddard from Brett, but the puck ends up sliding ever so closely to Flores. 6:29 remaining here in the first. Polar Bears suffered their first home loss of the season yesterday, 4-1 on the Watson Arena ice. Meanwhile, on the road this year, Manhattanville is 2-1. Polar Bears looking to answer the Manhattanville goals scored by Meredith on the power play. And now they regain in the neutral zone. Here is Mulhern. Over the blue line, tries to flick that across the Leininger, but she had a couple steps ahead. Now here comes Janet Zhu. Zhu shields the puck, dealing with Kester there. Back up top, Nash recovers, tries to flick it D to D, but Sandilands back to play in her own end. Up ahead, Zhu leads it to Ham. Ham tries to enter the zone, but Wilson made her retreat just for the moment. Now Wilson able to complete the turnover. Wicked pass there from Fusco, trying to catch one of her teammates. Has Wilson, puts the wrister on, short side, save by Flores. Nash will try to play it out. Off the boards, but again cut off in the neutral zone. This time Tala Glass. Here is Cloutier. She'll wheel and get the motor going. Hits Galanos on the line. Galanos tries to lead that up ahead. Gets a piece of the pad of Flores. Now Taub has Galanos. Tries to center the wrister from the pinching defender, and Glass gets a piece of the glass. Kept in the zone by Joyce. But taking advantage there, Sabia tries to lead that one up ahead to DeFusco. Izzy Stoddard has Whitmore. Whitmore, though, will Yielded to Pelowitz there. She goes D to D. Izzy Stoddard on the poke check will force the offsides, looking for the odd man opportunity. 4:21 remaining here in the first. So it'll be Angelina Joyce to take the draw with Lainey Nash. Check that. Actually, Anna Tittman, and still tied up at the blue line. Valiants grab control. Neutral zone now. Izzy Stoddard. Stoddard moves that one over to Joyce. Plenty of room. The wrister, and this one grabbed by Flores. Angelina Joyce with the opportunity there, set up by Stoddard. And plenty of room to get the wrister off there, but tracking it, Flores. And it is still 1-0 Manhattanville. Polar Bears, though, will win the draw. In Manhattanville territory, looking to set up the deflection. Now turning, firing, getting a piece of the post there is Leininger. She's back in control. Leininger holds, top of the slot, puts it on, gets a piece of Clark's stick. Here's Brett Stoddard. She can't make it through the two Valiants. A little bit of support, though, from Kester to try to get it deep in the zone. Now Leininger from the corner. Fakes the drop pass back, takes it up over the goal line. Looks to center, but can't get it through Clark and her teammates. Here's Pelowitz. She'll lose the battle. Centering feed intended there for Brett Stoddard, but the defense able to collapse. Stoddard up over the goal line, tries to sneak that one in. Here's Cloutier now. Polar Bears complete the change. Sent down low there by Kester. Here is Mulhern. Mulhern trying to work it free. She comes together with one of the Valiants, pops right back up. Loose puck, and in the neutral zone. That one dumped in, it would have been an offsides. Martignetti, the sophomore, tries up ahead, looks for Zoo, but instead Zoe Wilson puts this one on and grabbed once more by Flores, with the Polar Bears really grabbing control of the offensive flow. 10-3 unofficially, they outshoot Manhattanville with 2:37 remaining in the first. Overall in the year, the Polar Bears outshooting their opponents on average by a margin of 10 per contest. The wildest stat coming into before last night's game, a plus 44 margin in the third period. Blue line kept in, Glass off the end boards. Stierna tries to track, but Meredith, the goal scorer, was there. Taylor Ham moves it up ahead. Zoo tries to catch up in a foot race with Wilson. Now along the end board, Zoo trying to control it. Wilson knocks her off. Lopes in front. Marquez looking for it, and oh, look what I found. Marquez with the save. 2:07 left to go in the first. And again, Marquez last night saw 35 shots put on her. Again, stopping 34, and a lot of them in those dangerous areas right around the crease, bounding pucks, and found a way to control it, much like she did there. Ozone draw for Manhattanville. Izzy Stoddard. Off the board, she'll catch right back up to it. Stoddard playing a bit of a Brad Ingersoll role if you follow the men's team as well. A forward playing a little bit of defense here today as they try to move this up ahead to Lopes. Covered up by Marquez. 1:43 remaining here in the first. Taking a look at some of the league leaders while we have a minute coming into the weekend of play. Angelina Joyce tied for second in the NESCAC with 9 points. We'll get back to those stats at our next break, as moving this one out of her way in the air was Marquez, as the Valiants will look to track it back down. They do so in the neutral zone. Martignetti. And now Pelowitz. But Cloutier with the forecheck on. Close to breaking that one up. Polar Bears now in the neutral zone will force the turnover. Manhattanville, though, gets it right back. Up ahead, off the boards. That is Sabia. And now pushed into the boards there, DeFusco. Polar Bears lead that one up ahead. Kester, as they'll now go off for the change. 1 minute remaining here in the first. Manhattanville with the only tally in the frame. That came at 11:04. Holly Meredith on the power play for her second of the season. Polar Bears, though, otherwise controlling the flow of this one, out shooting the opponent 10-5 unofficially at the moment. Leininger looks to capitalize. Looking for the one-timer was Izzy Stoddard. They don't connect, but right back to Leininger. Puts the wrister on. Deflects right back to Joyce. Kept in by Kester. Slap shot block there as James goes all out. And check that, that's Dougal, not Kester out there right now. 17 seconds left, and here comes DeFusco. And from the blue line, Marquez will make the catching save. But a nice heads-up play there, as that will set up the offensive zone draw with 10.8 seconds remaining. Bowdoin with a slight edge in the battle of the face-off dot, 8-7. See if they can make it 9. And they will. 5 seconds left, cleared up and into the bench. So with 4.6 left, we'll reset and do it again from the Bowdoin blue line. So it will be Zoo and Joyce. 3 seconds left. Polar Bears win the draw. Izzy Stoddard holds on, and the first period will end with Manhattanville up 1-0. Manhattanville has 3 block shots. The Polar Bears are fired up and ready to go here in the second. We are underway. Bowdoin traveling left to right in their home whites. Manhattanville right to left in their road blacks. And Cloutier jumps right on the puck, but has to deal with 2 Valiants there. Martignetti will come away with it. Up ahead, they try to get Taylor Ham on the deflection off the boards, but an icing here with 19:38 remaining in the second. And going back, taking a look at some of the league leaders coming into the weekend. As we mentioned, Angelina Joyce tied for second in points, 4th in goals, 7th in assists, and tied for 6th in power play points in the NESCAC. We'll get back to the rest of the Polar Bears in the top 10 of the respective categories in just a few moments, but Lopes will win the race, beating out Dougal to negate the icing. In the other direction, though, here comes Cloutier. Cloutier fakes the pass, keeps it on her stick, drops it back to Galanos. They try to hit the charging Potiker, but Potiker now will be able to recover, at least for the moment, in the corner before it's poked away there by Lopes. Some contact at the red line. Glass comes away with it. Moved on over to Zoe Wilson. Wilson over the blue line now. Wilson drops it back. There's Joyce, puts it on, looking for the rebound is Stirna, and covering it up is Flores. Well, the play was on for the Polar Bears there, right off the entry. As Wilson looked for Joyce, and they tried to get Stirna out in front. Big save, though, made by Flores. Ozone draw for the Polar Bears. Here's Joyce. Back to Tom, swung on over the glass. Cut off in the slot, though, by Holly Meredith. Here's Meredith up ahead. A little too much mustard on that pass. Explodes off Kettlewood's stick, and it will be covered up by Joyce as they took a wicked kick off the end boards. Going back to some of those league leaders, Katie Leininger tied for 6th as well. Power play points in the league. Her and Joyce have 3. Tala Glass tied for 8th in D points with 4 out of all NESCAC defenders. Peyton Mullern also with 4 defensive points, or 4 points among defenders. And she's tied for 6th in first-year scoring. Offensive zone draw for the Valiants. Polar Bears will grab would look like they had control, and this one's given away. I think everyone was a little bit confused there as Leininger tripped up. We'll continue on here. And an offsides. So a little bit of confusion there as it looked like Tittman was skating towards her own end, most likely to set up the breakout, but did so in a way where it looked like she was attacking her own net, and Leininger was able to force the turnover and create the opportunity before the contact, but either way, back underway. This one off the boards. That's Galanos down trying to win it free against Sabia. Check that, my apologies, that's Adele Clark. Top of the slot though, trying to grab the loose puck there. Contested shot off the stick of Mullern with the defender in her way. Fusco able to win it back. Cloutier now has it poked away. Pelowitz. And now Martignetti with some sauce up ahead off the stick of James. The race is on, and Stoddard excels. And the icing called. Or accelerates, I should say. So this will come all the way back down into Manhattanville territory. Some of their league leaders, Amanda Sabia, tied for 7th in the UCHC with 13 points, second in goals with 8, second in game-winning goals with 3. We'll take a look at the rest of the Valiants in a moment. Right off the draw, put on, loose in front. Polar Bears trying to track. That was Izzy Stoddard getting it started. Here's Wetmore. And now Joyce shields it, flicks it with a nifty backhander out in front. Second opportunity, slap shot, deflects wide off the tape of Dougal. Polar Bears keep the pressure going. That was Joyce trying to set up Potiker on that first opportunity. Now from the wing, that gets a stick and deflects into the glass. Here is DeFusco. Up ahead, trying to track is James. James ruled onside, centering feed, wrist shot save made by Marquez. As Braden James was looking to make it a 2-0 game. They timed that perfectly between Pelowitz and James on the entry. Either way, though, it's Zoo and Stoddard on the draw. Polar Bears grab control. Broken pass sent back in by Nash. Glass. Here's Wilson, though, to recover. Held up in her own end. Ham had the pressure on the forecheck. Glass. Tried to get Stoddard. Nash sends it in the other direction, but right back to Tala Glass for the Polar Bears. Now Brett Stoddard, red line, swings it in. Races on between Lopes and Leininger. Lopes cuts her off. Moves it along the boards, but Wilson now trying to force it free. Little bit of a collision there, and one of our referees will get up. A-okay. Lopes over the blue line. Drops it back to Zoo. Has her stick lifted by Brett Stoddard. Slap shot from Meredith. Looks like that got a piece of Taub on the exit. Now Ellie Whitmore. A little too tapped to trying to flick that into the zone from Stoddard, but Polar Bears go for the change. Manhattanville trying to get the breakout going. Galanos looking to disrupt on the forecheck. Blue line, Taub. She'll try to get it in deep and does. Allie Howard now touches up for the Valiants, but once more, Galanos tries to break it up. Manhattanville into the break now. Here is Clark. Clark, right wing side, but there's Kester to cut it off, given away. Meredith now enters the zone, has to deal with Fusco. And off the turnover, sent into the neutral zone by Mullern. Here's Cloutier. She'll win the battle. Cloutier off the hustle play. One-timer, and Galanos denied. A wicked release. Perfectly timed by number 14. But they can't quite solve Flores just yet. Glove down by Dougal. Dumped in. Meredith. Up ahead, tries to move it to Clark. Polar Bears again, aggressive in the neutral zone. Here's Joyce picking the pocket, but there is Howard to clear it out on the backhand. Now James in the other direction. James, defense collapses, puts the shot on low, save Marquez. Free puck along the end board, looking for the one-timer there. James can't connect. Rachel Potiker, she'll lose it there to James. James up top, the shot put on. Marquez tracking, looking for the deflection. It ends up behind the net, still in a dangerous area before the Polar Bears get that one clear. Potiker. And now Izzy Stoddard. Ween Stierna tried to get there, but sent back in by Pelowitz. Off the turnover, centering feed, Zoo blows a tire, trying to send that home. Off the Bowdoin turnover, was set up in the corner by Lopes. Now Manhattanville will look to dig this one out. And we'll have a whistle and a stoppage as Ham ends up on top of the puck. 12:50 remaining in the second. Polar Bears out shooting Manhattanville 15-7. This would be one heck of a game if we were in the 7th period of play. Bowdoin with the advantage on the face-off. They've won 15-24 so far and will set up in their own end here. As Brett Stoddard thrown out, Leininger in to take it with Zoo. Tied up, Brett Stoddard swings around, collects the puck, moves it on over. Here is Glass, leaves it for Taub, puts it on. Glass charges, looks for the rebound, and it just skitters away towards the far side. Now Wilson keeps it in, puts it on, loose in front. Polar Bears were looking for it. Glass a half step behind. Brett Stoddard was a half step in front of it. Bermuda Triangle situation there, but the Polar Bears now will have to try to work it out of their own end. Zoe Wilson. Leininger trying to recover. Brett Stoddard trying to get there. Sandilands moves that away. Bounces right into the slot. Brett Stoddard trying to get on top of it. Turnover for Steer. Leininger looks to center it back, but the Polar Bears going off for the change there. Glass swats it back towards the neutral zone. And Sandilands couldn't quite accelerate into the zone, but dumped in deep for the Valiants there. Polar Bears touch up. Behind the Bowdoin net, there is Tittman. Has it poked away by the defender in Kester. Now Kester will try to win that one back. Here is Galanos. Moves it to Cloutier. Cloutier has to backhand that one on in. And a little bit of a tangle up here between Cloutier and I believe that's Holly Meredith. Polar Bears, though, keep the play going. Kester can't keep it in the zone, but quickly recovered by Mullern. Mullern will send that along the boards. Cloutier tries to crash the party, but the Valiants come away with it. That's Kettlewood. Maisie Kettlewood up ahead. Scored in yesterday's contest against Williams, did Kettlewood. Here's Potiker. Cut off, though, in the neutral zone by the Valiants. James will come away with it, moves it on over, and we'll have a whistle and a stoppage here. With 10:27 remaining in the second on the offsides. So Sabia in to take it with Joyce. Dumped in, deep into Bowdoin territory. Battle for the puck here right along the blue line. Valiants come away with it. James, centering feed. Sabia right back to James. Poked away, though, by Potiker. Big deep play right there for the Polar Bears. Blue line. It's Izzy Stoddard. Takes it down below the goal line. Glass tries to go on the diagonal to Joyce. Gets a piece of the boards. Joyce moves it. Wetmore to play. Tries to return it back up to Joyce. There waiting was DeFusco. Tied up along the half wall here. Sabia, one of the Valiants, trying to work it away, but kept in here by Glass. Glass from the top of the slot finds a lane, but once more Flores grabs this one, and she will stop unofficially her 18th of 18 Bowdoin shots on the evening. Just about halfway through our contest, if you're just joining us, it was Holly Meredith from Janet Zoo and Amanda Sabia at 11:04 of the first on the power play. Our only score here in this one. Bowdoin 0 for 1 on the power play. Manhattanville 1 for 1. Bowdoin outshooting Manhattanville by 11 right now, 18-7. And loose in the slot, the Valiants, thanks to Nash's effort, will pick it right up. Here's Nash. Up ahead, tries to connect with the outstretched stick of Zoo, but an icing. Going back to some of the UCHC league leaders for Manhattanville. Tiana Lopes, second in the league with 16 points, now up to 17. Tied for 6th in goals, second in assists, and tied for 4th in power play points. Have a few more of those in a little bit, but here's Ham in a battle here with Fusco. Fusco banks it right by Zoo, and now in control, here's Kester. Kester over the red line. Kester accelerates right around Nash. Has some support from Leininger once the puck was poked away in the corner, though. Nash wins it back, cut off by Kester. Kester tries to force it down low. Leininger trying to body it away. Leininger tripped up, delayed penalty coming. And for the second time this evening, the Polar Bears back to the power play. It's a tripping call against the Valiants. And it will be Nash heading off. So a golden opportunity for the Polar Bears here to tie this one up on the power play. 0 for 4 in the 2 games here in 2020, including last night's contest. Angelina Joyce and company looking to change that. She has Fusco and Kester, on the points. Fusco down low to Stoddard. Back up to Kester. Rister blocked by the Valiants. That was Howard out in front. It's the Stoddard sisters and Joyce out, your power play forwards, along with Kester and Fusco. Kester tries to move that over to Fusco, lands loose in the slot. Valiants push it to the neutral zone. Kester trying to win it back. Heck of a battle here. And eventually the Polar Bears will get control. Here's Allie Dougal, wrister, and tries to pick the top corner. Gets a piece of Flores there. Kept in though, swinging and missing on the opportunity is Mullern. There though is Dougal to keep it in. Dougal moves it on over. Mulhern, cross ice looking for Joyce. She's able to recover though. 55 seconds left to go on the power play. Dougal, Polar Bears getting the second unit out there now. Here's Galanos. Trying to work a little bit of an overload on that far side. Valiants broke that up. Mullern into the spin cycle, tries to move it away from Zoo. Zoo, though, won't relent along with Lopes, but the Polar Bears come away with it. Here's Leininger. 26 seconds left to go in the power play. We'll see if Bowdoin can get set up again here. Manhattanville, a strong penalty-killing team. 88% again coming into play as of yesterday. Up top, Dougal. Moves it Leininger, 6 seconds left. Leininger, cross ice. The shot put on by Glass, loose in front, looking for the swing. There was Leininger. And the Valiants will kill this one off. Again, that was Leininger looking for the last second putback on the power play, trying to bat it out of midair. Here comes Kester, though, on the rush, and this one grabbed by Flores. 6:11 remaining in the second. Polar Bears now 0 for 2 on the evening on the power play. Up to 19 shots, though. Quickly back to some of those Manhattanville league leaders. Lopes, as we mentioned, second in points, tied for sixth in goals, tied for second in assists, fourth in points. Ham, fourth in power play goals, tied for third in game-winning goals as well. Pelowitz, who's tied for seventh in assists and third in D points, had it taken away there. Moved down low by Joyce as the Polar Bears trying to get set up on offense. Joyce able to cut it off. Joyce turns and heads down below the goal line. Instead, she'll actually flip it out in front, as she had Fusco to her right, but grabbed once more by Flores, with 5:41 remaining here in the second frame. Just about at 8 o'clock here. If you're tuning in on the East Coast, it's Reen Stierna and Tittman on this draw. Polar Bears with Reen Stierna. Tries to lead it up to Joyce. And it looked like that just went under Joyce's stick there. Polar Bears, though, keeping up the pressure. Dougal, as she was falling, turns and puts it on. Flipped up ahead, but Potiker tries to keep it in. James, though, will give chase. Marquez wanted the icing, will play on. Neutral zone now. It's James. Here's Nash. Off the stick of Ham. And she'll go off for the change. Potiker now. Potiker looking for Cloutier there into the neutral zone. Manhattanville tries to send it deep. Here's Glass, but feeling the pressure on the forecheck now. In the play, the puck lopes. Centering feed, got a piece of a defender's stick. And now here come the Polar Bears, trying to get a 3-on-2 going here. Here is Glass, puts it on, gets just a piece there of the goaltender, but covering it up on the second opportunity is Flores. 4:20 remaining here in the second period. Just rounding out league leaders for Manhattanville. One more left to get to, and that is yesterday's goalie, Taylor Elias. She has the fourth best goals against average, coming into Thursday's play with a 1.46. Polar Bears in control. From up top, Glass puts it on. Getting there first, Meredith. Meredith up ahead will hit Lopes. Lopes picking up speed. Drops that one back. Shot contested and immediately swept away by Glass. Kept in the zone. Sent over to Howard. Howard puts it on. Traffic, though. Delayed penalty coming against the Polar Bears. Meredith sends that down low. No look, right back up to Meredith. Meredith swings to Howard. Meredith puts it on. That gets a piece of Wilson. And we'll await the call, as it will be Wilson going to the box for 2 on the cross check. So Manhattanville, their one goal has come on the power play. They'll see if they can go 2 for 2 here. Meanwhile, the Polar Bear penalty kill will look to rekindle some of that magic that they had last night. One back to Howard. Swung on over there to Pelowitz. Howard on the one-timer. They score! Howard got it started. There was traffic out in front once more, but she will lead the line by the bench in celebration. So for now, we'll say it's her goal, and that will be her 4th of the year, 3rd power play goal. Till we hear otherwise. She actually just had a quick word with one of the referees, so we'll see if it remains official, but definitely looked like it took a little bit of a movement before it beat Marquez. But again, it was an absolute rip from Howard up top. So we'll await the official call. Manhattanville now 2 for 2 on the power play, and this time they wasted no time. It's a 2-0 game, and looking to make it 3-0. A wicked point shot there from Pelowitz, but handled by Marquez. 3:12 remaining. The Bowdoin Sports Information crew has just announced it as Allie Howard's goal. So 4th on the year. She's now tied for the team lead with 3 power play goals. And an offsides ruled here against the Polar Bears. On that power play goal, a lot of power play depth for this Manhattanville team. 12 power play goals coming into the game, scored by 10 different players. You can make that 13. Draw at the Manhattanville blue line. Valiants will win that one back. But here to jump on the puck is Izzy Stoddard. She'll take it below the line. Stoddard flicks that back out in front, looking for it. There was Galanos. Now charging Cloutier, trying to win that back. But here is Sandilands. Is this one will go the length of the ice for an icing, and the Polar Bears will have a chance once more for an ozone draw. Another interesting one on Manhattanville, who did score the first goal today. Until yesterday's contest, undefeated when they were scored against first on the season. They were 3-0-1. Of course, they had the first goal here today. And here is Mulhern, who had that initial look off the draw. Mulhern tracking it down, dealing with Nash. Mulhern behind the goal line. Joyce was calling for it, but not much of a route to get it to her. Now in control, Joyce has to avoid the contact along the boards, deflects off a defender's skate right in front of Flores. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the period. Polar Bears now with a 10-shot advantage, unofficially 20-10. And again, a team so far this year that's had some success in the third period, so in 2 minutes still left to play in this one, but the Polar Bears will hope that those shots will translate to goals before this one ends. Cut off in the neutral zone by Dougal, tries to send it deep. Here's Glass, though, in support, moves it on over Leininger, enters the zone. Leininger trying to shake the defender. In the face-off circle, Brett Stoddard comes together. Excuse me, that's Izzy Stoddard. Came together with one of the Valiants, got right back up. Martin Yeti up ahead, just behind Kettlewood, trying to take advantage is Glass. And that's going to be ruled a high stick. And that will be against Manhattanville. So an ozone draw for the Polar Bears. Joyce out with Cloutier and Kester. Fusco and Mulhern at the points. Polar Bears pressured back to the neutral zone. Mulhern will recover. Mulhern tries to get it up ahead. Zoo, though, looking to capitalize. Tries to weave through the defense. Zoo has to wheel towards the board. Still in control. And now forcing it away is Mulhern. They try to move it on over. There is Kester. Fusco. Meredith. She'll try to flip that up. Fusco over the blue line. Fusco takes it deep. Joyce trying to capitalize. 2-on-2 in the corner. Coming away with it is Meredith. Half wall now, under a minute remaining in the period, 20 seconds left. Joyce looking for it in the slot. Joyce has to deal with two Polar Bears changing out personnel. Here is Meredith. She'll come together with Izzy Stoddard. Leininger in now, trying to play it here. Has to deal with three Valiants in the corner. Well, Leininger's actually trying to help out a teammate, it looks like. And what happened was Zoo was able to trap it up. And that is how the period will end. Manhattanville adds another on the power play. They lead 2-0. And it will translate into goals. Bowdoin will travel right to left here in this third period. Manhattanville left to right. They wear their road blacks. Polar Bears in the home whites. And there is Taylor Ham trying to get the puck deep into the zone there, but the Polar Bears look to free it away. Zoe wins it back, centering feed to Ham on the spin around backhand. This is wide. Turnover in the neutral zone here. Polar Bears, get it right back from the Valiants. Moved on up ahead. Here's Galanos. Scored yesterday, puts this one on. It's knifed away by Flores. She did have Cloutier charging as well, looking for that rebound. Tied up in the corner. Mullern and Zoo will come together. We play on as Fusco tried to keep that in the zone. Now it's Kester's turn here on the rush. Through the neutral zone, Kester picks up speed over the blue line. Kester takes it below the goal line. Kester shields the puck, sends it back up top now. Intended for Mulhern. That one's going to get away. Clark's going to try to get there first. Mulhern wins the race. Up ahead to Reen Stierna, poked away. Mulhern in support. Now Howard from the red line. Dumps that in. Marquez out to play. Two sticks come together, but the Polar Bears will come away with it once more. Here comes Leininger. Right wing side, Leininger. Sachets around the defender. Now has another Valiant to beat in the person of Howard to try to get that back into the boards. Dougal, she pops up right away. Neutral zone now. Here's Izzy Stoddard. Works her way through, over the line. Stoddard pressured out to the right wing side. They try to center, but can't quite get it to glass as Manhattanville for most of the evening has found a way to clog up that slot in the middle of the ice, negating the Bowdoin passing plays. It will be an offensive zone draw, though, here for Bowdoin, and it will be Izzy Stoddard in the take it, flanked by Joyce. At the top of the slot, she flings it right back to glass. Wrister blocked. Getting in front of it there is DeFusco. Neutral zone now. It escapes the Polar Bears. DeFusco trying to get there. Stoddard with the stick work to tie her up. DeFusco though wins it back. One-timer to flex away off the stick of Braden James. Now DeFusco, she'll keep it in. Nash, and now James. From the half wall, James dealing with a defender. Loose in the face-off circle. As Dougal tries to swing that towards Manhattanville territory. Sandilands will dump that in and go off for the change. Here's Tala Glass. Glass over the red line, now over the blue. Glass curls, and this one covered by Flores. 17:03 left to go in the third. Now the Polar Bears again generating fair amount of shots in this one. Well, more than fair with a 14-shot advantage right now. As Leininger and Zoo will get tied up here in the face-off circle. This one's going to go out of play. But back to that last point, the Polar Bears, for the most part today, have been forced out wide on their chances with Manhattanville clogging up that front and that slot. But they'll see if they can solve them here once more. It's Zoo and Leininger. Ham intended for Lopes on the stretch. Kester with the heady play to cut that off. Pelowitz, D to D, but Polar Bears bringing on the pressure in the forecheck. Fusco It bounces to Mulhern, and now Leininger. Leininger from the circle gets a piece of Martinetti's stick. And again from the corner, this one from a sharp angle will deflect off a couple twigs and wide. Again, we talk about the Polar Bear offensive chances. Got to give credit to the Manhattanville D for being able to get numbers back. As we saw just a couple seconds ago, Martinetti behind the red line, deflects off of Cloutier. She's going to try to take advantage of this. Keeps it in the zone. Cloutier down low. Joyce, rebound, score! Izzy Stoddard! And the deficit now down to 1. What a play! Bang, bang from Joyce to Stoddard. And there may not have even been a rebound there. That might have just been a lightning quick pass. We'll see if we can take a look at the stream replay. But either way, we know who scored it. It's Stoddard on her 3rd of the season, matching her total from a year ago. And now the Polar Bears will try to capitalize with a little bit of jump. In 15:44 left to go in regulation. Here is Cloutier. And again, that all starts with the puck that took a bounce on the clearing attempt off of Cloutier. She recognized it, went and kept it in the zone, found Joyce, and a beautiful backdoor look over to Izzy Stoddard for the goal. And there was Leininger in the slot, nearly making another one happen. She's up top now, down low to Mulhern, but Mulhern in a stick battle here with Meredith. Behind the Manhattanville net, that is Leininger. Leininger from up top into the slot, looking for to the Polar Bears, but there's Clark with the stick work to win it free. Has to deal with Reen Stierna now. And along the end boards, Leininger able to win it back, but now Tittman and Howard trying to play it away. Howard kept in, though, by Fusco. Manhattanville wins it back, and the person of Clark, but Clark has her pocket pick there by Mulhern. Mulhern up ahead, stretches to Joyce. Joyce doesn't have a lane to complete the pass, takes it below the goal line. Dealing with 2 defenders. Joyce up top of the slot again, looking for Stoddard. Backhand, no one home, back door, but low into the corner. Polar Bears will win it right back. And cut off there by Holly Meredith. Here's James, quick entry and a late offsides. 14:01 remaining here in the 3rd. Tough break there for Manhattanville as Kettlewood thought she had James sprung there. But they'll reset at the Bowdoin blue line. James swings at that one, sends it low off the blocker of Marquez. Here is Cloutier recovering. Joyce tries to keep control. Nash will play it. Nash nearly had it taken away by Stoddard. Nash still dealing with the bounding puck. Angelina Joyce wins it free, sends it deep. Polar Bears will complete the change. Leininger now. Leininger looking to win it away from Sandilands. Leininger over to Mulhern, cross eyes, Fusco, and looking for Reen Stierna. Nash had her stick tied up. Nice play out in front for the sophomore defender. A little bit of pinball there as Mulhern nearly got by the defenders. Neutral zone, Nash. And here is James up ahead, looking to get by Sabia, or looking to get it to Sabia. She can't get by the defense. Pelowitz up ahead, looking for Zoo, and an offsides. 12:33 remaining here in this one, and it's gonna go back to the Manhattanville blue line. So it looked like it might have been looked like the call was offsides, but chance it could have been ruled intentional. Either way, we're back underway, and the Polar Bears taking advantage with the shot there from Stoddard, looking for his second goal of the contest. Lopes. And now Ham. This one deflects off a defender as the Polar Bears get in the way of that shot. Tied up along the end boards. Coming away with it. Lopes with the slap shot, looking to produce the rebound was Pelowitz. Ham tied up by the defense out in front. Pelowitz glides back to her own end and now into the neutral zone. That one will go deep as the Valiants go for the change. Stoddard gets there, off the boards, and now moved by Joyce over to Leininger. Leininger, right wing side, tries to get it by Meredith, but kept the stick to the ice. Reenstierna moves it low, and now Leininger. Now Reenstierna in control. Reenstierna looking to get it to Leininger behind the net. Valiants take advantage. Here is Meredith once more. Trying to get in the way there was Kester. Puck in deep, and here's Nell Fusco. Fusco trying to cruise down left wing side, but we'll have another offsides here. With 11:03 remaining here in the third. If you're just tuning in, 2 power play goals, 1 in the first, 1 in the second for Manhattanville. But Bowdoin in the third at the 4:05 mark. At the 4:05 mark, Izzy Stoddard got the Polar Bears' first goal of the contest. Entertaining crowd here today, excuse my laughter. Sent down low in the zone. Slap shot up top, looking to force the redirect was Galanos, started by Fusco. To finish the point, it was started from Joyce and Cloutier at 4:05 of this third period. Here's Allie Howard. Kept in the zone by Muller. Moves it on over to Fusco. To the wing. Deflects into the slot just outside the reach of Muller. And that took a wicked deflection, though. Winning the puck. Galanos rebound. Scores! Meg Galanos! It's a 2-goal weekend, and we're tied at 2. Much like her goal last night, puts the initial shot on, follows it up, gets the rebound, puts it past, this time Lena Flores, and we are tied with 10:19 remaining in the third. And the Polar Bears, what do we say about them being a third period team? Third goal on the season for Galanos. And now we have a fresh hockey game with just about 10 minutes left to go here in regulation. That explodes off of James's stick. Reenstierna takes it low. Reenstierna moves it up top. Glass. One-timer again looking for the redirect. That was Dougal looking for Leininger. Here is DeFusco, though, on the counter, and Marquez looking for the puck. She'll get on top of it. And Danny Marquez doing everything she can to make sure that the Valiants don't answer. So Joyce and Fusco announced as the assists. That will be the second point. Both assists for Angelina Joyce, now up to 7 on the year and up to 11 points. Hit along the corner, collision there. Puck free in the neutral zone as we will play on. Joyce. Swings across ice. Cloutier trying to get there, and the Polar Bears are going to go back to the power play. Interference is the call. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second here. Yes, it will be. Polar Bears going back to the power play. Laney Nash goes for the interference. And the Polar Bears, for the third time today, have a man advantage. So Polar Bears get right back to it here on the power play. Plenty of room for Muller, looking back door for Gallino's pass just offline. Here's Dougal, though, below the goal line. Manhattanville, though, will lift the stick thanks to Meredith's effort. And with a little help from Howard, she'll clear that away. Polar Bears on the breakout. Here is Glass over the blue line. Glass pulls it down low, now up to Leininger. Leininger with the deke looking to get by. Leininger into the corner, rims it around the boards. There's Galinos. She'll send it right up to Fusco. Fusco over to Mulhern. Mulhern with room, drops it back. Glass puts it on, and a glove saved by Flores. Somehow able to grab that one with traffic out in front. And there'll be 1:01 left in the power play for the Polar Bears. And they'll win another draw here, outshooting Manhattanville 28-11. We'll take a look at the face-off numbers in a minute. Back up top, though, quick play over there to Stoddard, and it's recovered by Manhattanville in the corner. Kept in, though, by Fusco. Stoddard up ahead, looking for Brett Stoddard, and this one again covered up by Flores. In close. 32, and Black gets on top of that one. 40 seconds remain in the power play. Wasting no time, we'll get back to it. Kept in the zone by Kester. Brett Stoddard trying to track it down. She does. Puts the shot on. Blocked there by Pelowitz. Along the half wall. The captain, Pelowitz. Loose there for Joyce. Slap shot off the chest there of Flores. But kept in. Kester. That gets a piece of Zoo's stick. Sent on over to the wing, right back on the give and go. Fusco's blast with 2 seconds and 1 off the boards. They had Joyce backdoor, right back to Joyce, and now they try to find Izzy Stoddard. She'll lose her balance. Brett Stoddard, though, will keep the play going. Izzy stabs it towards the net, and grabbing the rebound, Martignetti, and it's banked off the boards by her. Is trying to clear that one was Fusco, looking to go for the change. It deflected off of DeFusco's stick. Kester will dump that one in. Stierna sends that deep. Meredith will give chase, so does Stierna. Loose puck, there's Leininger, jumps right on it. Leininger up the boards, fakes the exchange, keeps on, she will be ruled offsides. 6:04 remain in the third. Polar Bears out shooting 30-11. And as promised, looking at those face-off numbers, Polar Bears have really grabbed control. A 36-16 advantage over the Valiants. 36 of 52, and they'll lose this one to Manhattanville, but they'll try to win it back here in the neutral zone. Into the spin cycle goes Dougal, trying to get it out. She'll take it behind the line and get going once more. Off the one-touch pass, Kester tried to cleanly get it over, but recovering is Izzy Stoddard. And forcing the turnover at the blue line, the Valiants believe that was Sabia. Joyce, though, in the other direction. From the red line, now over the blue. Joyce tries to back it in. She'll lose her balance. Glove down, though, by Fusco. Fusco in close, trying to jab it home. Joyce on the rebound. Izzy Stoddard turns into the corner now. Valiants will pick it up. Fusco cuts it off again. Leininger trying to play it back, or play it away from the Valiants. It ends up in the neutral zone. 5 minutes left to go. 2 Polar Bear goals here in this third have tied the game. Look at the move there by Joyce. Actually, that's Taub, my apologies. And third time's a charm. That was actually Mulhern. And that is Cloutier, denied by Flores. Get tripped up by all the different variations of twos in the Polar Bear jerseys. 4:47 remaining in the third. And add a 0-2, and that's the shot differential, or the shot advantage for the Polar Bears, and we'll have a timeout here. I believe it's a Bowdoin timeout here. Wait, official word. It looked like it was Coach O'Neill who got the attention of the officials. So Bowdoin timeout. 4:47 again remaining here in the third, and the Polar Bears with 2 huge goals starting early. 4:05 of the frame. Izzy Stoddard on the back door, closest to the near post. Started by Angelina Joyce up in the face-off circle. Couldn't quite tell if it kicked and had a little bit of a rebound or if it was just a clean laser of a pass over to Stoddard. Either way, Stoddard timed it right, rifled it home. And that was followed up at the 9:41 marker. Meg Galanos followed up her own shot for the second night in a row, buried the rebound. Fusco and Joyce get the helpers there. So out of the timeout, the Polar Bears have had momentum on their side for most of the evening. The scoreboard, not so much. They'll try for their first lead as they'll send this one deep to the left side, left corner, where Martin Yeti will win it back. Kept in, though, by Stoddard. Izzy Stoddard tried to pull the toe drag. Here is Tittman off of Marquez, grabbing the rebound as Glass. Polar Bears will look to start from their own end. Now battle along the corner. Valiants will come away with it. Back to Pelowitz. Has an open lane, and Marquez controls that rebound before Ashley DeFusco could get there. Either way, that will set up the draw for Manhattanville. Fresh personnel for the Polar Bears. We'll have Mullern, Fusco, Joyce, Cloutier, and Kester. And we'll have Zoo on the draw with Meredith, Lopes, Clark, and Howard out there as well. Manhattanville in control. Backhanded centering attempt doesn't connect for Manhattanville, but they're able to dump that back into the zone. Cloutier tries to gain control. Clark turns and dumps that in. Lopes back up top. Howard able to shake the D and drums and sends that down low. Now Mulhern engaged with Clark. Here coming away with it is Fusco. She'll move it to Kester. Kester up ahead, trying to hit Joyce. Meredith had her marked. Polar Bears go for the change. Stretch pass. And an icing as they tried to get Sabia's stick. So good break for the Polar Bears. They'll have an offensive zone face-off here, and it will be Looks like Galanos, Stoddard, Reen-Stierna up front with Glass and Dougal up top. But the Valiants will come away with this draw. Nice stick work there by Meredith. Neutral zone, in her own end. That's Glass trying to stretch it up ahead, and an icing on the Bowdoin side of things. So this will come on back into Bowdoin territory. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the frame. Tiana Lopes, the leading scorer for Manhattanville, out to take the draw, wins it back. Pelowitz on the quick passing play. Nash puts it on Marquez with the save. Here's Ham in the corner. Ham below the goal line. Looking for an outlet up top. Pelowitz again with the slap shot, and Marquez says no. 2:32 left to go here in the third. On the 14th shot of the evening for Manhattanville. For Manhattanville, they are 0-3 versus NESCAC opponents. Still have Wesley in the play. And they're hoping to add a 1 in front of that 3 against the Polar Bears here, but Bowdoin's going to go back to the power play. Tripping call against Manhattanville. And it's the 4th time this evening Bowdoin will have an opportunity. 2:17 left to go in the third. And it's Pelowitz for 2. So the Bowdoin power play back out there again. Here is Joyce. Back to Fusco, over to Kester. Kester tries to go diagonal. Stoddard on the backhand. Brett out in front looking for the rebound, covered up by Flores. So Brett Stoddard to the left, Izzy to the right. It is Joyce again on the face-off. Back to Fusco. Over to Kester. Kester has to go and recover before the opposition gets there. As Joyce trying to hit Fusco there, just off target. Off the boards with authority there by Kester. Fusco, Joyce over the blue line, loses it there. Howard clears it the length of the ice. Minute 16 remaining in the power play, minute 30 remaining in regulation, 2-2 game. It will be Kester, and she'll leave it there for Joyce. Up ahead, Izzy Stoddard. She'll enter the zone, pull up, right wing side, right along the half wall, flicks it right back to Fusco. Over to Stoddard, backdoor Joyce, and just getting a piece of it is Flores with her left skate. Cleared away by the Valiants. 1 minute remaining in regulation, 40 seconds left to go on the power play. Polar Bears looking for a buzzer beater of their own tonight. Here is Leininger, puts it on just wide. Dougal with the rebound, shot contested, second opportunity, gets it behind the net, flings it back up top. Sent on over to Glass. Glass looking for Galanos on the back door. And this one forced out of the zone. 30 seconds left to go in the period. 12 on the power play. Timing it right here is Glass. Dropped back for Galanos. Moved on over to Joyce. Puts it on the rebound. Kicks just wide of a Polar Bear stick. Power play will expire, and that was actually Muller, not Joyce, on that last opportunity. 10 seconds remaining in regulation. Gets a piece of Leininger's stick. Doesn't go past Martignetti, tied up in front of the penalty area. This one dumped into the zone, and once more we are headed to overtime, 2-2. Manhattanville right to left in the black road uniforms. Joyce and Zoo on the draw, pucks down. We are underway, second night in a row in overtime for the Polar Bears. Here's Zoo, takes a wild deflection, and Marquez will push Ham out of the way. As this one is sent in close and a diving effort there. Believe that was Dougal to make sure that puck didn't find its way into the back of the net. Here is Pelowitz. Off a body. And on the rebound, Ham again denied by Marquez. Danny Marquez denying Manhattanville of a flurry of chances here to open up the overtime period. Again, if you are unfamiliar, it's 5 minutes, 5-on-5. Sudden death. If we don't get a winner, this one will end in a tie. Face-off one. Polar Bears in their own end. Stoddard off the one touch. Leininger dumps this one in. Meredith will get there first. Leininger, though, on her stick. Back to Brett Stoddard, trying to keep control. Here's Stoddard against the grain. Misses off the glass. Now here is James. This one, though, forced back into the zone. Brett Stoddard, and looks like we're going to have a hand pass. Only saw the end of the motion. But either way, it will be draw coming right at the Manhattanville blue line. 3:59 remaining in overtime. Izzy Stoddard puts it on just wide. Rebound loose in front. Here's Joyce sitting on the doorstep. The puck, and they get on top of it. Heck of a stop by Flores on that third and final opportunity there from Joyce. But the Polar Bears with a couple opportunities there. They knew it. But with 3:58 left, still plenty of time and an O-zone draw. Joyce on it for Bowdoin against Zoo. Manhattanville in control. Clark can't corral it. Polar Bears keep it in the zone. Howard trying to outwork her number 4 counterpart in Izzy Stoddard. Zoo around Sandilands. Around Glass. Zoo, though, loses it low in the zone. Here is Glass up ahead looking for Cloutier. Hits Joyce over the blue line, trying to stay with it. Lopes now looking to disrupt. Polar Bears trying to complete the change. 3:16 remaining here. As Kester nearly came out of nowhere to take that away from Kettlewood, but Kettlewood at the last moment able to get that to safety, and now low in the zone. Sabia loses it there. Here's Fusco, but Sabia wins it back. Tries to pop it over the goal line where Lopes was waiting. Sabia still in control. Here's Mullern. Sabia now, though, trying to take advantage. Up ahead, nearly a 2-on-0, but it got out of the reach of Braden James there. Joyce with the wiggle to get free. Joyce fires in this one. Again denied by Flores. 2:31 left to go in overtime. And Joyce, someone who we know, as we've mentioned with Mulhern, one of the harder shots on the team. So it's Stoddard in there against Sabia, and Manhattanville trying to get momentum going in their favor. Here's Ham over the line, blocked by Glass. Leininger up ahead to Glass. Trying to win the race, she does. Round from Meredith, tries to center that one, but here's Allie Howard. Allie Howard now can't get through Izzy Stoddard. Howard will swing that down low. Sabia, and we're going to have a penalty coming here against the Polar Bears. It will be a cross-check against Talaglass, and Manhattanville, who is 2 for 2 on the power play this evening, gets an opportunity in overtime. And it looks like the Valiants are going to call a timeout here with 1:53 left to go in overtime. And cross-check the call on Tala Glass. Shots unofficially 37-17 for the Polar Bears. About a minute into this one, couple opportunities. If you are just tuning in, just a couple minutes ago, had the flurry out in front of Lena Flores, and it looked like she was down for the count too, but her and her defense were able to deny a couple looks, capped off by an Angelina Joyce chance. And now they'll have a chance to draw it up. And keep an eye at the top of that umbrella on their power play, because Holly Meredith at 11:04 of the first and Allie Howard at 16:34 of the second. Well, that's where the goals came from. And interestingly enough, in warm-ups, saw the Polar Bears working a lot, or I shouldn't say a lot, but when I was taking a look over, noticed them spending a good amount of time on net front scrums and physical battles in front of the boards. See if that pays off here. Back to Howard. If no goal is scored, this one will end on the power play. Lopes back up top. Now to the wing in Zoo. Zoo trying to get around Kester and now dealing with Fusco. Now along the red line, here's Fusco trapping this along the boards. Zoo able to win it free. In close, and Sabia was hoping that would track just a little closer to her stick tape. This one though will clear the zone. Cloutier trying to force something on the shorthand here. Now Angelina Joyce in support. Able to ward off the defender. Gets into the zone down low. Joyce playing a little bit of keep away here on the shorthand. Joyce reverses down low. Leininger now trying to trap it along the boards. Manhattanville looking to take advantage. Here's Zoo. And she'll send that deep. But the Polar Bears did a nice job there to bring numbers down low into the Manhattanville zone. Which really helped them on that last transition. 30 seconds left to go. Polar Bears. But here comes Ham. Right back up top. Slap shot blocked. Brett Stoddard gets in the way of Meredith's drive, looking for her second point blast. 14 seconds left. Clear it away. Stoddard's gonna go for a skate to see if she can get this one first. She does. Leininger will see if she'll get there. 5 seconds left. This one will land in front of the half wall, and the Polar Bears will come out of the evening with a hard-fought, hard-earned tie, 2-2 against Manhattanville.